Hey guys, so we gotta talk about this new movie that's coming out called Cuties, basically a pedo's dream. But before we do, we gotta talk about the normalization of pedophilia in general. Now, I've already made a video on this, it's right here, called Pedophilia is Becoming Normalized. This is an amazing video I made that goes into a very deep explanation as to why and how pedophilia is becoming normalized through the scum of the earth, the social justice warriors. Now, I know that some people might believe that SJWs actually do have some decency as human beings, which is that they don't support pedophiles. And if you believe that, you might be using evidence such as pedophiles have actually tried to get the P for pedophile put under the LGBT plus label, and the LGBT community and the SJWs have actually denied that. They don't want the P as part of their label, as far as I know. Pedophiles have done other things to get their name under the radar, like calling themselves MAPs and stuff, but the point is, that would show that they have some decency as human beings. But I don't really think so, because as I've already explained in this video here, there is many other things that show that SJWs like pedophilia and pedophiles in general, such as supporting things like drag kids, the drag queen story hour, sexualizing children with, dressing them up at young ages, like 10 years old, wanting to make the sex ed at school at a much younger age, like teaching 5-year-olds about sex or anal sex or all this stuff, right? Trying to encourage kids who are under 13 to, if they have even a slight doubt about their sexuality, just go and get a trans operation, when that really shouldn't be done until much later in life. And you also may have to make sure that you really do have gender dysphoria. But they encourage it on young children because they know that young children are impressionable, so they can get them at a young age. So all those things are the reasons why I think that SJWs do support pedophilia. But the reason I bring that up is because I'm curious about the outrage towards this. Obviously it deserves it, but I think a lot of the people who are outraged are kind of hypocrites. This is not a new thing. This pedophilia thing has been going on for a long time, and SJWs support it for the most part. The drag queen story hour, TV shows like Dance Moms and things like that. Sexualizing kids has been going on for a long time in many different ways, and nobody has cared. It also goes on YouTube, but it never, it's obviously talked about and hated by a lot of people, but it hasn't become a big controversy like this until now. Like, when we talk about Onision, for example, who's the most hated man on the internet, he is sexualizing and manipulating kids. But even he gets less controversy than this Netflix thing. TV shows like Dance Moms get less controversy than this. The whole thing with MAPS and wanting to put the P in the LGBT label. All these things are discussed, but not to this extent. This is going on. This is actually seen directly on YouTube. And we already know for a fact that YouTube and Susan Wojcicki supports pedophilia. That's not a secret. But why is the outrage smaller on YouTube when it's been going on much longer? Regardless, let's get right into what happened with Netflix. So here's my video talking about pedophilia becoming normalized. You should watch it. There's a new movie called Cuties coming out September 9th. And this movie was shown at the Sundance Film Festival in France. By the way, that right there is a little bit of a sign for how trashy this is, because it was shown at Sundance. Leaving Neverland was also debuted at Sundance, so we know that Sundance doesn't have very high standards. But I will give some credit here. Before I get into the controversy, the actual director of the film did an interview, and she did say that she didn't make this movie for the purpose of pedophilia. She made it to show how kids get pushed into being sexualized at young ages, and she's trying to portray it as a bad thing, which it is a bad thing. So technically the message is good, but the portrayal is terrible. Regardless, when it was put on Netflix, the advertisement, originally the description said this, and by the way, this is where the controversy stemmed from. Amy, 11, unbelievable, becomes fascinated with a twerking dance crew. So let's break this down. An 11-year-old gets fascinated by a twerking dance crew. 11 fucking years old. That is disgusting. Hoping to join them, she starts to explore her femininity. So, femininity should be explored at 11 years old. First of all, no. And secondly, why do you have to twerk to explore femininity? Femininity can mean many things, but we're trying to say that twerking is femininity. And we're also trying to say that femininity can only be explored through twerking. This is so stupid. Continuing on though, at the end it says defying her family's traditions. Are we saying that's a good thing? Are we saying that it's good to defy traditions? This almost makes me think of when those SJW articles, and I actually mentioned this article in my pedophilia being normalized rant, how I mentioned one article by Pink News that said transphobic conservatives are angry that kids are becoming drag kids. Like, they're trying to put it across as a bad thing that conservatives are angry at drag kids existing. If you're not angry, you're a pedophile. But in today's day and age, if you are angry, you're a transphobe. This is like almost the same thing. Like, oh, it's good to defy it's good to defy normal family traditions and be a sexualized kid. That's what we want you to do these days. Anyway, I'm going to move on to Twitter now, because after they got all the pushback from that description, they posted this apology. We're going to break this down too. We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for Cuties. But here's the thing. Why'd you use it? Netflix, just like YouTube, supports pedophilia, and they even kind of admit to this, and we'll be getting into that. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film, which won an award at Sundance. That right there is disgusting. And right there, that actually proves to me that they don't care, and they know what they did is wrong, and they don't care that they know, because here they are making an apology, and they felt the need to throw into the apology, oh, by the way, the movie won an award. Fuck off. Why do you have to put in the apology that you won an award? Why does that matter? You're making an apology, but you have to tell us that the movie won an award. Is this your way of guilting us into going, oh, I'm sorry, I won't hate it, I'll be nice because it won an award? Are you trying to fucking guilt us? Are you trying to make us feel like, hey, you're the one who's wrong for hating the description because the movie's good, it won an award? Fuck off, Netflix. We've now updated the pictures and description. The point is that for the American release, not the French release, you put up a cover art for the movie, which I'm not going to show here, but you can look it up if you want, and it's disgusting. It's literally showing 11-year-old girls posing in a way that they shouldn't be. Fuck off, Netflix. Yeah, I'm just going to cover that. Okay. So basically, I had to actually go directly to Netflix to read the updated description. Why? Because when I literally Google imaged Netflix Cuties updated description, it actually didn't come up. I'm serious. I actually couldn't find the updated description on Google Images. I really don't know why. Only the old description was coming up. So I had to literally go to Netflix to read it. But anyway, here's the description that they updated. 11-year-old Amy, I don't know why they wrote out 11-year-old when before they put 1-1, but whatever, starts to rebel against her conservative family. Again, like, see, it's like they're trying to insinuate something here, like being conservative is bad because they don't support pedophilia. Like, what are you trying to say by pushing in the conservative thing? Conservative's family traditions when she becomes fascinated with a free-spirited dance crew. See, and there we go again. Netflix is still struggling to admit that this is pedophilic. Now they're trying to say that twerking is free spirit. I don't know what to say. One other thing that I found was that, and you guys are going to love this, this movie got an M rating. If you don't know what that is, M is, rated M for mature. Do you see the problem? Netflix, by rating this movie M, Netflix is admitting that it's an inappropriate movie for kids to watch and should only be viewed by adults. This is wrong for two reasons. One, by rating it M, you're basically encouraging adults to watch it and be turned on by little kids. And two, you're openly admitting that this movie is not appropriate for kids to watch, but it's perfectly fine for kids to act in the movie. It's okay for kids to be in the movie, they just can't view the movie. Now that right there is the biggest admission of guilt from Netflix, that this is an openly pedophilic movie meant specifically for pedophiles to watch. Like, there's no way around that. That's what this fucking is. And when it comes to pedophile Netflix, this is probably the worst part of it all. Somebody actually contacted customer service at Netflix asking them about the movie. Watch this. How does a movie sexualizing children get approved? Who signed off on this? Well, that question to the person who contacted customer service, that question is irrelevant. Pedophilia, as I've already proven, is being encouraged in modern day by SJW culture, by Hollywood, and by social media like YouTube. They don't fucking care. This is greenlit not because there was some lunatic at Netflix, although I wouldn't be surprised because Netflix comes out of California. What a fucking shock. But it's not just Netflix in and of itself. It's also just our culture greenlighting this kind of thing. Netflix. We understand that not all stories may appeal to all our viewers. Let me rephrase. We understand that this may not appeal to normal people, but we also have a lot of pedophiles who watch our content, so we needed to have a movie like this. Which is why we always invest in a diverse range of content. So you want to have all content, is what you're saying. Pedophilia is your next genre. I guess after that you're going to go into like snuff porn. Is like rape gore next? What's next, Netflix? Fuck you. Content from all over the world. What the hell does the location have to do with the content? Are you saying that a movie from France can't be non-pedophilic? We also provide ratings, synopses, trailers, and controls. It doesn't matter. You cannot just say like, well, we give a trailer, so if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. You're still giving a green light for pedophiles to watch a movie with 11-year-olds. Do you have control over your viewers? Like, do you know which person is a registered sex offender and you can block that person from viewing it? No? Then you're encouraging pedophilia. And controls to help our members make the right viewing choices. Yeah, because you could totally prevent pedophiles from watching pedophile movies, right? For themselves and their families. Do you support pedophilia? A simple yes or no will suffice. And right here is where it gets very, very, very good. We cannot really comment on that. You literally said yes. That's what you said. But while we believe in creative freedom, so now pedophilia is creative freedom, at Netflix we respect all religions. Being attracted to underage children is a religion now. Unfucking real. Why am I acting surprised? I'm not actually surprised, but I'm acting like I am. And their cultures, traditions, and values. Pedophilia is not a religion. Pedophilia is not a culture, pedophilia is not a tradition, and pedophilia is not a value. It is a mental disorder, just like the people who work at Netflix, just like pretty much everyone in California, just like pretty much all SJWs, and just like people who run YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, and many users like Onision. You have mental fucking disorders, and this is pedophilia. There is no way of dressing it up. You cannot give me any bullshit like changing the fucking cover photo, the trailer, the description, calling it a religion, saying you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, blah 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 fucking blah. It's pedophilia, you know it is, you admitted to it, and you're still gonna release the movie. Piss off.